Hi, everybody. Mike Donnelly here from Barrier Free Contractors. The whole key to this whole perspective of accessible homes for people really is education, and to know about these things in a more in-depth manner is why I'm bringing these to the table. So, in this particular case, we're going to talk about a bath and how to make it barrier free. Well, you can see you walk into the bath as my initial bidding goes. I'll go in, I'll look at all the perspectives, whether it's the tub that we have to take out, the walls around the tub, and you can see this is basically how we get started. So we get that going, and the whole goal is to be able to get that in a position so that we can go forward. Now, what happens when we take everything off the tub out? We have to trench and set the drain. So then what we do is we'll go ahead, we'll put all of plumbing to code, we get everything inspected, and then we go ahead and mud it. And what I mean by the mudding is we cement everything in place basically, and then mud the whole shower pan so that it drains properly. Everything is pitched to the drain, of course. All right. And once that's done, the whole concept then is to waterproof it. So we waterproof the drain and the walls around it. Really important to waterproof things. Well, when we have everything off the wall, what we're going to end up doing is putting in backer boards, backer studs. That's the first move. And those studs are specifically in a position so that when we put in the grab bars for the safety of the customers, for the client, then we know exactly where those studs are, so we can secure the grab bars to those studs. Very critical, safety first. Then once we're done with that, we'll stick on all of the DUROCK, which is a cement backer board, to accept the tile. And prior to actually putting the tile on, we'll go ahead and we'll waterproof the walls also with a liquid waterproofing membrane. Very easy to do and yet critical to keep things dry, not let them penetrate through into the behind the walls, which obviously can cause severe damage. Okay, so once all that's done, well, that's great. We've worked on the tub area. And now what we're going to do is work on the rest of the bathroom. So we're going to remove the inaccessible vanity that you can see here. That vanity, if you're in a wheelchair, you can't get to that to under the sink. So we remove that and create what's called a roll under sink. And that roll under sink will allow for a wheelchair to slide under and to be able to get their hands, brush their teeth, do the things that are necessary to be able to utilize the bathroom. This way, there's no leaning over or anything else. If you're in a chair, it's next to impossible to get that done. So by having the roll under, you really got something the way it's supposed to be. So then what we're going to end up doing also is if the bathroom door is not accessible, meaning if a wheelchair can't get through, which in this case, the person could not get through, the doorway was too small. What we'll do is we will enlarge that door to make it generally a 32 to a 36-inch door, which will allow for a wheelchair to get in very easily. They roll right into it. So that makes a heck of a difference. And it gives a level of independence that they don't have to have somebody help them into the doorway. Very commonsensical, and it works like a champ. All right. Then when we're all done with all of that, we're going to go ahead and install the tile and replace the toilet. And that's in this case, the tile we remove tile, we put it back, a brand new set, a bunch of tile, and then we came in and we installed a higher chair, higher toilet, which is much easier to get up from, especially if you've got very limited mobility. So the higher the toilet, generally, the easier it is for a person to utilize. So you can see where we put all the tile down. We did a nice job there, and then came in and took care of removed the old and took care of the new. It works out great. Okay. Once all that's done, in order to create a roll under sink, what we ended up doing was we had to remove the closet and shorten it. In other words, we created a new closet. We took the old one out and created a new one to enlarge where the vanity would go. And it worked out great. So now they've got not as much storage room, of course, but that's okay because the new vanity that we put in is the roll under vanity, which was way more important than the storage. And these folks really love the way we did that. Worked out great. So when we're done doing all of that, uh, we complete the job. So we've actually, in this case, gone ahead and installed all the tile walls, the tile floor. We went ahead and put the shower rod in with what's called a uh, it's a shower curtain, but it's heavily weighted. So that what's good about that is that the water just doesn't splash out. It doesn't blow in the wind like you see so many shower curtains do. And at the bottom of this, you're going to see a couple things. You see that white thing there? That's called a collapsible dam. Now, what that is, it's like a sponge rubber coated with a vinyl coating, and you can step on it. It'll squish down. Put a wheelchair in there, it'll squish down. You roll right in, but it pops back up, and what that allows for is the water to not. You can't help but get some water out there, but it's very minimal, and it keeps the water in the shower. And the drainage, we've already talked about it being done properly. It drains well. The dam keeps the water in the shower. Shower curtain works really well for all of that. And now you got something. You got a complete shower setup, and it is a barrier-free roll-in shower. And now a person can, in a chair or with mobility issues, can get in this shower and really have the independence they need. It's a really good system. And by the way, I want to point out, see a grab bar that we have here? These grab bars, remember I told you that we put backer board in there? They are attached to that backer board. Okay. So all this good stuff that we've done here, now the customer, the client has a much better bathroom. And in this case, she's really enjoying it. So I want to thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Remember, the education of this is essential. The more that you know, the more you can help others. And that's what we're trying to do here. Thank you very much.